Input.
Hey everybody, this is Enket with a short story set in the world of my upcoming book, The Empire of Aarden. It's a steampunk, low-fantasy setting book for D&D 5th edition. I've got a handful of short stories written set in this world. This one is going to be pretty dark, so fair warning, it's not a happy story. Not all of them are going to be like this, but they are all going to be different, and they are all going to be tales from the Fadelands. It's an hour after sunset, and as the last rays of sunlight are drowned in the inky blackness of the night sky, the hair on the back of my neck stands on end. Normally, the songs of crickets would crowd the air around our village, but there haven't been crickets here in weeks. Any creature or critter that ain't kept indoors or stuck in a pen, they made themselves scarce a long time ago. Some of the townsfolk are starting to talk about following suit. The church sent a man down, one Noster Ivan Palikov, but he didn't stay very long. Said there was nothing he could do on his own, and that he would return with a group of paladins, some holy knights. Folks around here don't believe him, but this far south I don't think anyone would have trusted a dirt hugger like that if he told him the sky was blue or water was wet. It's been a couple weeks since he left, and gotta admit I'm starting to doubt him myself. My musing on the old priest's departure is cut short by the soft, gentle voice outside my window, and my blood goes cold. It's an hour after sunset, and like clockwork, the shade is out to hunt. It all started last month. The first set of folks to get claimed were the Durst down the street, a poor elderly couple that lost their son a couple years back. He had joined the Capitol Guard and ended up getting gunned down by some highwaymen over a cart full of turnips. Folks get desperate enough. Even root veggies are worth killing over. One morning the Durst show up to church looking something ragged. Hadn't slept a wink. They told the local Noster that they'd seen their son, or his spirit anyway, outside their home. Said he started friendly-like, asking him to come on outside. And credit where credit's due, Old Man Durst had the wherewithal to know something was up. When they refused, tried to find out why it seemed their son couldn't come into the house, he got hostile, started shouting at him. About all sorts of things from the past. Some things that he would have known, but they said he was shouting about things he wasn't even around for. Our Noster, the local holy man, he's young, barely out of tender's robes and already assigned to our podunk village by the Church of the Creator. Too young to comfort them for the loss. Too young to help them deal with what the rest of us thought was some kind of vision. Too inexperienced to know that it was a lot more than that. Nobody else could hear the spirit. People would spend the night with the Durst and watch them talk to nothing outside the front of their house. Night after night for nearly a week until one day, I guess they just couldn't take it anymore. Walked out into the cold night air and fell down dead just as soon as they crossed the threshold. Mara White was next. Told us she was seeing her father's spirit. Same story the Durst had told, a fallen loved one, back from the dead trying to coax their kin out the house. Mara didn't last as long as the Durst did. Harder to stand it when you're alone. Wasn't more than 2 nights before we found her outside her own front door, stone dead. It's taken 6 of us so far, and in a village of barely more than 100 people, that's more than enough to get folks scared.
Jackson.
The voice outside my door starts talking to me.
Jackson, please. I'm so alone.
I was a militiaman myself, just like the Durst son. The capital kept us moving around enough. Every couple months, all over the Empire. It was when I was sent to the village at Tensfall that I met Susan. First time she spoke to me, I got so tongue-tied I couldn't even get my name out. I felt like we were meant for each other, and after a couple weeks of courting, I learned that she felt the same way. I requested that same post over and over again, and I stayed in Tensfall, right there on the edge of the Empire. Away from everything and everyone, but I got to be with her. Within a year, we were married.
Jackson, why don't you come to me? Please.
I know it's not her out there, but I can't even bear to look out the window. Susan and I had tried to have a child, but we didn't have any luck. Given how things turned out, it's probably for the best. I couldn't have handled raising a child on my own. That is a feat for stronger men than I. I had another 6 months to serve out my contract with the Empire. When I was reassigned, 6 months at Noster's Keep. 6 months away from Susan felt like it would be the end of me, but she just laughed it off. "We have the rest of our lives," she said. "This is nothing, and when you get back, it'll feel like no time has passed at all." It wasn't nothing. By the time I got the letter telling me that she'd fallen ill, she was already gone. But now, 5 years later, outside my door, outside our door here in Tens Fall, this thing is pretending to be her.
Jackson, I love you.
But it's not her.
Why don't you just open the door? It's been so long.
It's an hour and 5 minutes after sunset, and my hand is on the doorknob. I know what will happen if I open this door. Tears streak down my face, and I do nothing to clean them off. Pressed against the cold wood, I can hear her on the other side, and for a moment, I imagine our faces separated by only a couple inches.
Jackson.
My hand tightens its grip. Out loud, just to myself, in a voice barely higher than a whisper, I tell Susan, "I'm coming." Thanks for hanging out. I hope you liked the first episode of the Tales from the Fadelands. If you want more stories like that or videos about D&D and virtual tabletops, I would appreciate it if you subscribe and join my Discord below. I love ya. Bye.